What is your assessment about the Indian ice hockey team and Indian ice hockey preparation from nursery to the professional self? And where do you see it is tough, but it has been must be a learning experience for you about how we Indian play?
I've been to many countries in the world. What I've seen here from the coaches, I've been very impressed by their dedication and their desire and their enthusiasm to learn and do that. The hockey ability is fair, not great, but it's good. It's better than most people would expect. So I see that with the desire and the want, it's good. I've had a great time, and I see an area for growth that can happen.
You said that you don't need an ice rink to prepare for ice hockey, and that is something very, very eternally truth about ice hockey. How do they prepare? What do they do? Because you need a lot of technical staff, trained technical staff as well.
That's right, exactly. Well, first of all, you need fitness, but there's things that you can do you can learn game sense by actually playing the game, by doing things off the ice, and you can also work the body in a certain way that you're actually mimicking the actual movements of skating skills or stick handling skills. Use a stick handling ball and you're doing that. And I mean, obviously, it isn't a 100% alternative, but it's something when the player gets sick of being on the ice, which does happen to a lot of pro players. They start doing this and it starts to get them back into it. Well, in the situation here, it could substitute for them not having ice time here.
With the time that you have spent in India and the work that you're doing with ice hockey, where do you realistically see the path? What is the blueprint that you would live? I know it is tough, but at least we can have some hope.
Well, the blueprint here is 42 being in the Olympics. That's a hell of a goal, but it's obtainable because there's a plan there, and it's far enough away that you can start to make changes if you have to adapt the plan. With enthusiasm, and I've just discovered today they've got over 1,500 hockey players up there. That's way more than a lot of nations already in the IIHF, just that area. So that's a great starting point. It means that you aren't at the bottom. It means that you're the top of the bottom part of the hockey tree, and you're actually doing the right things as you're coming through. So I'm enthusiastic, and I think things could happen.
No, you're doing a human job by coming to India, because when you don't have a team, when you don't have an ice rink, and still you have so much of faith and enthusiasm about training the Indian guys and girls, that is something very important. But again, they have to begin at a very young age.
Well, I come to something like this, it's always the same. They're hockey people to me. They're ice hockey people to me. And ice hockey people are like any other sport within their own sport. They're people that I understand. I can see and feel their enthusiasm in what they want to do. So if that's the case, that gives me a lot of enthusiasm of what I'm doing here, and I can see that there's a possibility of everybody moving forward. You already had a good women's team that's worked very hard, and now you've got the men's team in the in the Asian Games. That's fantastic. That's a great step from here, moving on for the next 6 months. Then start building from there.
Yeah. Also, you talked about Finland, a small country with so much enthusiasm and so much a worldwide success in ice hockey, and the other countries you talked about that in your deliberation, and that should be a good pointer for India. You talked also about 100,000 100,000 hockey players, and that makes a very good youth brigade, or what you call a young boys and girls.
You think a nation like where I'm working at right now is Hungary. We have about 9,000 hockey players all told. But we're in the top level at every single level right now. Well, the second to top level in men's at U18s, U20s, and women's U18s, and the top level at the other two. So that's not a huge number. There's places that are smaller than that, and you don't have to be huge. The one thing about Finland, of course, is they have a lot of ice there. Hockey is a natural sport for them. And so they can actually go, but they have they've worked very hard in their development to try and get to go there. So yeah.
One of our India's Winter Olympics champion, what do you call a great Indian brand ambassador, Shivakeshwan, said very realistically, 42 is fine, but then you have to prepare from right now, right here.
Of course, absolutely. You can't wait another week. Because let's face it, lots of people tell me, you know what? This is it. This is the time. I can see it. I can see that this is the time that they've waited for it, or hope they would get in India. You may never get this time again.
If I may
it has to start from someplace. let's start now because we've got all the little pieces of ingredients there.
If I may put a very personal question, do you see that in your lifetime India will ever be one of the top 10 countries in ice hockey?
Personally, no, but you can never tell. If you have got the huge growth, I mean, if you've got 1,500 people playing the sport in a small area, what happens when we put up 4 or 5 rinks there? What happens when they start to go around the country? You have the numbers in the country. If you get the right development, then yes, that could help them very, very quickly.
How do you see that in your country, the way ice hockey is being played in your parent country, how do you see that India could work on it? Can they learn something out of it?
Oh yes, yeah. There's lots of countries that they can actually see what they've done in the past, what nations have done in the past. Nations that are warm weather countries like Spain, which has a little up by the Pyrenees, which is all the Basque region and all, which is all very, very cold. Well, it's very similar to here actually. It's not as big, but they're in the same situation, and they've worked very hard in trying to put their sport together, and they're doing pretty well. They're at the 3rd level in most of the teams now, so that's great.
I look at a corollary of cricket in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
They are based in around NCR region, around Delhi. So India, there's no point why India could not go to a foreign country or a Scandinavian country and learn from the very young age.
Yes, for a period of time. I mean, I know in Hungary right now we have 25 players playing outside the country, not including 5 senior players playing outside there, because they've increased. They had enough money that they could go and play there. That's one way. Or if you have the money to take the whole club out.
And the nurseries needs to be developed. That is more important because that is the base.
Your top's going to be here. Your bottom's got to be way down here. It's all about foundation, right? And putting the players in as they get older too. You know, as people disappear, put more players in everywhere. If they come in, they want to play. Let's let them play.
Thank you for taking time to talk to Vision Television World, and we look forward to Indian ice hockey growing with your knowledge and your wisdom that you have shared with them.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.